Every event bound him to his burdens, with more chains and hawsers than a frigate to the dock. Mother sniffed, and he lowered his hand, digging for his handkerchief. He needn't have bothered. She had one and dabbed her eyes with a black scrap of linen. I'm surprised there's a dry square of cloth left in the house. The amount of weeping that has gone on this last 6 months would fill the Serpentine in Hyde Park. He chided himself for being unfeeling. She had suffered both great loss and now a great calamity. He should make allowances. Though it seemed he'd been making allowances for the woman for most of his life. Her dress seemed to swallow the light from the fireplace and wall sconces. Still wearing black bombazine from head to foot, though the time of deepest mourning had passed months ago, he continued to wear a black coat out of deference to her feelings, but much to his mother's dislike. He'd taken to wearing his buff deerskin breeches and a grey waistcoat. Every time she noticed he'd had his tailor remove the black cloth-covered buttons on his jackets and return the brass originals, she would pucker her lips and let a pair of tears form on her lower lashes. I suppose I have no choice but to accept it, but it seems God has been most cruel to me. I feel as if I am Naomi from the Bible. You might as well call me Mara. More sniffs and eye-wiping. That's what she said, wasn't it? When everything had been taken from her, that her name now meant bitter? I'm just empty. How can this be happening? I didn't plan for any of this. Her voice vacillated, as if she didn't know whether to feel angry or just victimized. A son with higher expectations than mine of his relationship with his mother might take offense. You lost your husband and your eldest, but I still remain, and your daughter and your widowed daughter-in-law, not to mention a new grandchild. Marcus kept his voice bland, as he always strove to do in her presence. He was who he was, no more, no less, born in the order God had chosen. As a second son, he no longer resented the affection lavished on his elder brother. Though his parents had 3 children, only one had mattered when it came to the succession. Sophie, his younger sister, had been attended and sponsored and chaperoned, but his father had purchased a major's commission for Marcus the moment he'd earned his sheepskin from Oxford. He was the spare, not the heir. He had ceased to let it rankle years ago. For the most part. I have a grandchild. Yes, but not a grandson. Mother sat up. I wanted a grandson. And I wanted you to have one, but God had other plans. And God's plans had put pay to Marcus's own. Life would be so much easier if God would stay confined to Sunday worship and evening prayers, instead of encroaching on Marcus's carefully laid arrangements. God has abandoned our family. Or he's punishing me for something. Why else would he treat me this way? She put her hand to her throat, the tears thickening her voice. Oh, it's all such a mess. Still, I suppose we'll have to move forward. We have no choice. Tomorrow we'll begin packing for London. London? Of course. Now that your circumstances have changed, we must begin the search. A fortifying breath lifted her shoulders. The search? He sounded like a parrot. For what? Well, for a suitable bride for you. I made inquiries last season, but I wasn't aiming high enough, I suppose. I was looking for a baronet's daughter, or a squire's. But now I'll have to start over. The hawsers tightened around his chest. I'm in no rush. After all, it's only been a few months since our bereavement, and barely an hour since it all became official. A wife was the farthest thing from his mind right now. His life up to this point had been carefully ordered. Everything divided, kept separate and tidy. Work, society, family, God. Adding the responsibilities of a dukedom left little room for a wife. You might not be in a rush. In fact, I've never known a time when you were.